I think we can begin with the invocation. Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Vasudevam Sutam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. So we are starting what is the 18th Adhyaya of the Gita. Before we begin, as usual, can someone recollect what is it that we saw last? Yes, please. Please feel free to unmute. Anybody? What is it that we saw last? Yes, Badrinath. Yes, sir.
The Sharira tapas, the Mana tapas, and the Vani tapas performed with highest Shraddha,
Yes,
without
sir.
any expectations of fruits in return, are
Absolutely.
the Sattva tapas.
Satvik tapa. Yes.
Sattvic tapas.
Absolutely,
Then
sir.
tapas done with lot of pomp and show, with pride,
Expectation.
with pride, expectations, with lot of glory, with aim to be glorious. They are in fact inferior, then worthless, and they are
Unstable, we can say, actually.
unstable,
Glory,
temporary in nature.
glory is actually in the Bhagavad Gita called a divine quality previously. So glory is that which comes by the divine only. It is like a blessing. Somebody who does great karma, he is also commanding a great glory because of his work. So glorious, so beautiful, that is divine. But in Rajasic Tapa, glorious aspect is not there. It is more of, like you said, pomp and show, ahankar driving the individual.
Ego,
yeah. Yes, absolutely, sir. Yes, see. So that is a Rajasic Tapa. Yes, sir. Anything else?
Then tapas done with delusion and with the intellect clouded by ignorance, and causing harm to self and others is the mode of tapas in tamas.
Absolutely.
Tapas.
It is in tamas. It leads to hurt. It leads to harm. It leads to harm into the individual. Sometimes people do with I will do tapa so that somebody else fails. That is a tamasic buddhi at work. So tapa is also tamasic. Yes, sir. Please continue, sir.
Then further, the three danas, the sattva dana done without any expectations, for the right cause, at the right time, and for the right purpose.
Deshe, kale cha, patre cha. So all three. Patra also, the person who is receiving. Yes, sir.
The person also receiving. So this is the sattva dana.
Yes, sattvic dana. Yes, sattvic dana. And a small action also done in a right manner at a right time can lead to transcendental benefits. Sometimes one small action, and dana can be anything. We have seen Shramadana, Vidyadana, Dhana also is a part of dana only, but it is about giving. And I think everybody is capable of giving something or the other in the world. There is no one who is not capable of giving. Sometimes even lending a good ear, peaceful ear is also a great service which we can give to a friend or even a stranger as well. Yes, sir. Please continue, Ji.
The Rajas Dana is done with pride.
Pride.
And unwillingly and with the expectations in return.
Yes. I have done this dana. That means I need to have the authority because I have done this. Somebody should listen to me because I am one example. I just did not want to. I missed sharing it yesterday for this dana only. It was actually my mother's experience. She had gone to an ashram, and in that ashram, she saw one very senior yogi. He was probably the Mathadipati or someone who's running that ashram. So that person, she got a chance to meet. She did her pranams, namaskar. She went. She like a lot of people would go to meet these wise people. So that time she saw that a small girl came and she was playing on his lap. She was playing on the lap of that Guruji. And he was very lovingly touching her head and very nicely taking care of her. The girl was also enjoying. Guruji also was having a very good smile. Suddenly a couple came. Their walk only displayed Rajasic traits. They walk and then the lady comes and, ये ठीक नहीं है गुरुजी, आप इतना प्रेम मेरी बेटी को देते हो, ये हमें नहीं मिलता है. Like that she says, you have given so much love to this. But and that time the Guruji said these words, my mother said it was very difficult to hear. आपको क्या दूं, आप तो मुझे पाल रहे हो. Like that he has replied. Now he was probably being sarcastic. But that ahankar in that dana, that you are doing dana, you feel you are having authority over me. How can I give you this nirpeksha love which I am giving to your daughter? It was a lesson which the lady did not understand. She was having another irritated face. Why did he talk like this in front of somebody else? And she went away. But it was a big lesson where Rajasic action cannot command anything. Even if you do a dana, if Rajas is there, you will lose the punya of that dana. So it's always better to have the sattva. Because look at here, this person is saying, "Aap hame pal rahe ho." Can somebody become so great? Is it possible? No, only ahankar can make a person feel that way, isn't it?
No.
Yes, so that is Rajasic. Yeah. Absolutely. That was one example I missed sharing. Yes, sir. Please continue. After Rajasic?
Dana made in the tamas mode.
Yes.
Is said to be ignoring the place, time, and purpose. Just as you said yesterday, a dana done for the terrorist organization is something which is not useful.
Yes,
not a correct dana, and that is hurting and done with ill will and hurting the emotions of the receiver.
Yes.
Like you said, yesterday that dead body and somebody is now offering something like that.
Yes. Sweets offered when somebody is passed away.
Yeah, sweets offered, right.
Or showing someone you are absolutely useless. I have so much more wealth and I can give you this much only. Or a farmer receiving the seeds right after the sowing season is over during rainy season, not getting it at the right time. I'll give you free. Yeah. If the person says that's of no use, isn't it? Even if the person gets it at the wrong time. So this is what we saw, the tamasic dana. Absolutely, sir. Anything else anybody would like to add? Yes, sir.
Can I continue?
Of course, sir. Of course.
Then the rishis, through a lot of meditation,
tapasya,
have acquired the Vedic knowledge and the mantra Om Tat Sat.
Yes, sir.
Om standing for the sacred syllable, Tat standing for the supreme Brahman, and the Sat standing for the ultimate truth.
Yes, absolutely.
Further, it is said that the rishis meditate and start their activities of penance, sacrifice, and offerings with the word Om, with the chanting of Om.
That is a pranava. They recognize that this is having a symbolism. Beyond the symbolism, it has a truth. A truth which is, it is a Jajvalya mantra. Om. Om is considered to be one of the most powerful mantras.
Sacred syllable.
Yes, absolutely. So that is the first part of the triple mantra, Om. Yes, please. Then
Tat is pronounced during offerings sacrifices by the seekers of liberation.
Okay.
But without expectations, anything in return for what they are seeking for.
So they are connecting with the Brahman. They are trying to connect with the Brahman, Purushottama, or Parabrahma Purushottama, different names. We can use that like an algebraic formula. Om is referring to the syllable of creation, that primordial sound. Tat is connected to the Brahman. Yes. And the third part, sir?
Sat is all that is pure, blissful, radiance, supreme divinity.
Okay. All that is what is beauty, what is perfect, what is pure, what is brilliant in this world, all the goodness. I think sometimes when we feel alone, sometimes we feel bad, sometimes we do something right and still we suffer. Then we look like I need some source, I need some strength. That time, if you can connect with, there is goodness in the world. And that is probably, you have to see it. You will experience it anywhere, any place. You don't have to have so much wealth to be happy or to experience that goodness, or you don't have any wealth also, still you can experience that joy. Walk outside, you can see, you can connect anywhere. Some people can see it in their pets. Some people see in the plants. So it is like Sat is equal to all that is good, and that is what probably in the dhyana, if you try to associate, probably you will get the experience. Just for a moment, if you can just imagine for a moment, all the good that you experienced in life so far, at this up to this point also, doesn't that bring a smile in your face? If you just see backlog of, it may be anything. You might remember your mischievous friend in school, or some little mischief you did when you were a child, or something which might have happened just yesterday, or some very happy meeting, or something very funny which you can laugh innocently also at your own joke or at somebody else's. Well, these are all little beautiful moments which make our life precious. How beautiful it is if we can connect to it. Well, this mantra, most of the time, what meaning you give to the mantra is important. So, Om Tat Sat is a beautiful mantra. Diksha has been given to by Krishna himself. What meaning we have to give, we have to only see. One thing very interesting was I came to know my niece was taught this in school. Hari Om Tat Sat, there was a song. Mahamantra hai Japakar, Hari Om Tat Sat, Hari Om Tat Sat. She was singing it. It was so interesting that how this was taught in school also for her. Well, this is a beautiful mantra. Probably, if we can try, we can actually start because experiencing a mantra is very important. Intonation is important. What kind of chanting is done, that is also important. But we have seen, isn't it? Bahina Bhai Chaudhary, Maji Maya Sorosoti. She is not saying Saraswati. Now, will Mother Saraswati get disturbed, or she will connect with the spirit of the mantra? Look at that. She says, this is the understanding of an illiterate lady. She says, I have understood a truth because my Mother Saraswati has taught me. When she is feeling herself that confidence because she has connected, that experience of connecting with the mantras. Otherwise, mantras don't have the effect. There's a very nice story. I'll probably share it in the group. There was my first story I had written for a story competition. It was about a mantra only. How one person was wrongly pronouncing the mantra. And I'll just share it later on. We'll not have that much time now. But what we connect. Otherwise, even Bhagavad Gita, what we are studying, what we connect, each of us can connect differently according to the divine being inside of us. We have to awaken that, and that will connect. So like that, this mantra, Krishna says, Om Tat Sat was the mantra with which the Vedic Rishis composed the Vedas, which they received the Vedic wisdoms. Means if you understand even the Vedic Suktas, you will see they are all sopanas. Pick up any one Vedic Sukta, whichever Deva you like. Maybe you have a connection. Maybe by a Panchanga you are able to identify that this is for my nakshatra, this is the Deva who is closest to me. Pick up a Sukta to that Deva. Connect to it, like understand that your blood also is having the same blood of Rishis inside of you. And what experience you get, that is absolutely different. And that is what is important. So Krishna has given, we cannot say now that they say Guru bina gyan kahan se pau. So Guru is there. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is there. We are saying Krishna Mande Jagat Gurum. Well, he has also given mantra diksha. Now knowledge must come. Now the onus is completely on the receiver because the giver has given. It is something like that. That is what we see. 17th Adhyaya, Krishna says, Badrinaji, do you want to add, or can I conclude this session? Conclude this Adhyaya? Yes?
One in the end, Lord Krishna talks about Sat and Asat.
Yes. Yes.
A person whose buddhi is awakened and who is performing actions, the right actions towards penance, offerings, and sacrifices, is said to be in Sat.
Sat. Okay.
And the other side, a person who is offering penances, sacrifices, and offerings without Shraddha is said to be in Asat. And such a person can never achieve success, neither progress in life, neither progress in life.
But sir, one question, sir. Yes, one question, sir. Now this is suddenly sounding like is Krishna cursing? So far we saw he is not cursing, but is he cursing everybody? You don't follow this, then you will not progress, you will suffer. Is he going like some people say, Mera nahi suna na, ab tumhe problem hoga? now you have not listened to me, so I am going to curse you.
No,
There
no,
are
no.
some cults. Is that it, or is he just what is the logical explanation here? Anybody?
No, no, I don't think. I think
You don't think he's cursing?
he's
Okay.
further guiding us and trying. He's
But
trying
how do
to
we
make us
explain
dwell
this
into
then?
deeper and deeper
How
types
do
of.
we explain this? Because Krishna says, Ashraddha dhana, that person without the Shraddha, he is in a state of asat. He will not experience, not this world, not in the next world.
That means he
Anybody?
wants us to come towards.
Yes, sir. All right, sir. Yes, sir. We'll get one more perspective of somebody else as well. Yes, anybody? Can we just, has Krishna suddenly 17th Adhyaya changed and said, now I'm going to tell you, better listen to me. This 17 Adhyayas, I did not force you. Now I'm saying, if you don't listen, you will suffer. Not just this world, next world also. Because the last line is like that. Nacha tat pretya no iha. Not here also, not there. Anybody, what do you think could be the logic here? Yes, Vinita. Yes,
I
ji?
have a feeling that when something is very simplified and given to you, then it doesn't have any much value. So if he, unless and until he doesn't want and he doesn't create that fear in you.
Acha. Okay, so Krishna is 17th Adhyaya. Till now he was talking about abhayam, fearlessness, but now he's planting fear maybe. Okay. Yes, anybody else would like to add? Yes,
It's
Shardaji?
more like it's more
Okay,
like a
Om Prakash ji.
factual. It's more like a factual statement.
Factual statement. Okay, it's like a factual statement. It is like, आग में हाथ डालोगे तो हाथ जलेगा. Means it's not a curse because I have cursed you, your hand is going to get burnt. That is a property. Okay. Om Prakash ji is saying it's factual. Shardaji, what were you saying?
I was saying he is cautioning us.
He's cautioning, don't go that side. That road is bad. Take the detour. Something like that. Without Shraddha, if you do any of these actions, then what is going to happen? It's as good as not doing the action. Any action that you do without putting your heart in it, without following Shraddha, will it come out well? No, even if you try to cook a simple meal, you might have cooked it 100 times. अरे आज दिल नहीं था तो नमक भूल गए, जल गया. All these experiences come. Why? Because consciousness is not into it. Today my mind is wavering. My heart is not into this action. Then it will not result. Well, absolutely like that. And the meaning of not here, not in the other world, there is also, I think, anybody has watched the Guide movie. So there's a song, if you can recollect, I think from the people many years ago, it was a beautiful one. Where are you going to find if you don't find the God here also? Which other world will you find the divine? Well, something like that, Krishna is saying, what are you going to find if not in this world also? Means the Satya is there. Satya is there in this Vishwa also. We don't have to just start imagining what we are, some like this, a Khayali Pulav, what's going to happen afterwards. I have done these many japa, so 5 BHK is getting reserved in my name in Swargalok. No, all these things, this world, this Janma, Ihaiva, Krishna has been telling, here itself you can liberate. So this is an important aspect. Krishna says, whatever you do in the right consciousness will automatically be according to Sat. Somebody in your society is having trouble. Do you need some scripture or some bylaw in the society association rules to tell you to go and help that person? Or it is a natural thing? It is a natural aspect, isn't it? It is your dharma also. It is a part of a dharma of your own place, because if you don't help that person tomorrow, you are also going to, there's not going to be any harmony. So at least lifting the harmony, it is your job, no matter what anybody tells. Well, exactly like that, when you start doing right things, you don't have to refer the scriptures. Scriptures will confirm what you are doing. So for that, the right consciousness is required. That is the Sat Bhava. Sat Bhava, Sadhu Bhava is what it is told. So this is one thing. And when it is done without Shraddha, it goes waste. That is one thing Krishna is telling. Means this is something which we know, yet we don't sometimes follow. Let us understand and let us try to, maintain that right consciousness inside of us. So Vivek Buddhi is always working, and you can enjoy also. Who says it is not? Leela is there in the Vishwa. Leela of our Krishna. You have to enjoy. It is a bhoga. We have to take the bhoga of the sansara also, but not get trapped in Maya. Otherwise, it is like experience the beauty of the rose, don't get troubled by the thorns. That is all Bhagavad Gita is teaching us. So with this, Krishna is going to start what is the 18th Adhyaya of the Bhagavad Gita, which is the final Adhyaya. It is the longest Adhyaya also. It is the Adhyaya on liberation, or what is moksha probably. Eshaha mokshaha. This is moksha that is explained in this Adhyaya, considered by many as a beautiful final summary of the Bhagavad Gita. Let us see. It begins again with a question of Arjuna. Thank God Arjuna has questions. Like I told, right from second Adhyaya, we are very lucky Arjuna is asking these questions, because Arjuna's questions are there. We are able to see the answers. And what happens in a dialogue? Well, so much can happen in a dialogue. That is what Gita has taught. So many adhyayas, we have seen so many secrets get revealed to us. Let us see. I was in Arjuna's place. You would have all got very bored, and Gita would have got over right in the start of second Adhyaya itself. Or maybe first Adhyaya. What should I do? Krishna would have said, fight. Okay, sir, over. No question, why, how, katham. These questions would have not arisen. So it's boring. Arjuna is, some people say Arjuna also was doing drama only. Krishna is also playing a game. Arjuna is also playing a game, because both want this wisdom to be passed on to the future. Both are playing a role. Like parents play a role for children to understand certain things, something like that. We don't know. But what we know is, even if it's a role, it's a very beautiful role, because if what truth is there, that is what we are more concerned with. How many years before did Krishna speak? Or what was Arjuna's age? What was Krishna's age? It doesn't really matter for us. What matters is what is the content, what did they speak, whether it is a creation, whether it is original, whether it is not. What is there is a truth, isn't it? I want to experience. If I get the experience of it, that is my truth for me. So that is what is our focus also. Let us see. One more beautiful question by Arjuna. Arjuna Uvacha. Sannyasasya mahabaho tattvamichhami veditum Tyagasya cha rishikesha pruthakeshini sudhana. O mighty armed one, O Krishna, O Lord of every being, I wish to verily understand sannyasa's meaning, and also the fundamentals of Tyaga. I need to know what the underlying principles are. Please show. He says, tell me, Krishna. The bhava is beautiful, the bhava of a sadhak. Sometimes it is very important. Such a bhava is very conducive. You can receive quickly. And Arjuna has now changed. We have seen him from 8th Adhyaya, a very different Arjuna. Now also, he says, Krishna, I want to understand. It does not mean he is not knowing anything. He knows it. Yet he feels I need to get more clarity. So Krishna, please tell me, what is sannyasa? What is the real meaning of sannyasa? What are the fundamentals of Tyaga? Tell me, please teach me, is what he is saying. We have seen all of this, isn't it, before? Sannyasa also was talked about. Anybody, can someone tell me, what do you think this sannyasa could be? Yes, anyone? We have seen that before, isn't it? If a guess were to be made, it's a very common dialogue. Husband and wife fight. One of them says, I'll take sannyas. Immediately, I'm going to Himalayas, I'll take sannyas. Wife says or husband says, one dialogue is common. Only thing the partner doesn't do to support is, here, take your bag. If you do that, dialogue is over. Nobody does that. But they just use this as a leverage that while talking. But what is this sannyas? If anyone can tell me what means, there may be general meaning is one thing, and there is probably a higher meaning also of sannyas. So anybody can just share whatever you feel about this. Yes, Dheeraj? Yes, please.
Hari Om.
Yes.
The meaning
Yes,
for
Ji.
me of sannyas is getting away from the things which is not useful to you, and not getting involved in the things which is not real, say moha maya or something like that.
But what is Maya then? Our family?
Sorry?
What is Maya
No,
then?
no, no,
Getting
no,
away
not,
from
not,
Maya?
not that Maya. Maya means for me it's a lust, desire, and
Acha,
you know, the
this.
satta
Getting away
sampatti,
from that is sannyasa.
something like that. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Dheeraj ji has given a nice explanation. Yes, Deepali ji, and then probably Shivaji after Deepali ji. Yes, Deepali ji.
Give up all desires.
Yes, ma'am.
And surrender to God from this materialistic life.
Okay.
And the fourth varnashram is that is total sannyasa. But in grasthashrama, we can live without reward. We can desire.
Okay, that is interesting. So yes, I think Sangeeta ji is also fulfilled. So she has written. Dipali ji said yes. It is one is there are the chatur ashramas also. Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyas. Sannyas ashram is said to be the last ashram. But even in Grihastha, you can probably practice is what Dipali ji is saying. That's interesting. Shivaji, yes, sir.
Yes, it's similar to what Deepali ji has said. I think historically we have been taught about sannyasis being people who just leave and go, meditate in the Himalayas. Probably in those times that was apt. But in these times when it's more of, you have to be more practical and you have the Guru Parampara still going on. So what we see in most of the ashrams, the real ashrams is that the sannyasis do work within the society. And while doing that, what they should be, once they get the sannyasa, what they should be clear on is that they should, again, the tenets of Gita, where do your work without getting, Lok Sangraha, and do it without getting involved in it emotionally and without, expecting the fruit or rewards. Basically, all the principles, and you live in society with that.
Yes, Shivaji, that is also another addition. So what we understand is, yes, Gayatri ji wants to add to what Shivaji has said. Yes, please. Yes, Gayatri ji.
Controlling your emotions. While you are in Grihasthashram, what sannyas could be to me is controlling your desires, your lust, then having limit your own expectations. Do your karmas, as Dipali said, do your karmas without expectation, rewards. That is sannyasa, and to get detachment from the materialistic expectations.
All right. Yes, Gayatri ji. So there's another beautiful explanation about. So what we see is from the Gita, we are understanding that sannyasa need not be only the fourth ashrama, where the last stage, because that is also a progression. It is said Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasi. But if you look at it, even if you see Natha Parampara also, how were they? They would say Alak Niranjan do tapasya in the forests also, but they would come into the villages and give Margadarshan also. People would come with their problems. They had their connection with the world. So the connection with the world is never lost. Even if sannyasi is not there, one of the students, who is a teacher also, so that person was close to Damleji. He assumed a new name after getting sannyas diksha. That time, Damleji just asked him one question. Earlier, he was doing a lot of social work. Suddenly, he stopped doing all of it after that. So that time, he just connected with Damleji online, and once he sent a message on phone. So Damleji just asked him, Karma sannyas api krutvan va? Have you done karma sannyas also? Then there was no reply from him, and probably he was not doing or works, and then he realized he has to do works also. Now he has his own YouTube channel also. He talks about different scriptures in different languages. He does service also. So this aspect, connection with the world, as long as we are in this bhuloka, we have a connection with the world. We cannot say we are disconnected. So sannyasa, we have to see what its meaning is, because many times there has been a wrong interpretation of sannyasa, which means absolutely disconnecting from everybody and everything. What is it Arjuna wants to know? He says, I want to know the real meaning. Let me get that. Krishna, please tell me. And then Krishna begins. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Now, one more thing I just wanted to say was, when we say sometimes somebody does something silly and we call that person wise, this person is very wise. Does that mean that person is wise? We are being sarcastic only, isn't it? So we will see Krishna probably using a little bit of sarcasm in the coming shlokas. So we can just hold on, because Krishna is now going to give opinions. He's going to say some very wise people say this is the meaning. Some other people say this meaning. Then he says, I will tell you the real meaning, what I say. That will come later. He's going to share opposite perspective or different perspectives, and then he's going to give his meaning. So let us see first. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Kamyanam karmanam nyasam sannyasam kavayo viduhu sarva karma phalatyagam prahustyagam vichakshanaha. The learned consider sannyasa to be, the learned considers sannyasa to be total abstention from the prescribed duties and actions, an absolute abnegation. But tyaga implies not a complete abstinence. Giving up the fruits of all actions is its key essence. So Krishna says there are two. Some people feel sannyasa means giving up all, complete abnegation, just free from all these works. But tyaga is different, is what Krishna is saying. Tyaga is talking about only letting go of the fruits of your actions. We earlier also saw this, isn't it? That fruits of actions are not in our hand. So why do we have to waste our time holding on to something? It's like, can I say I want to hold water in my hands? Will it be a very useful effort? It's going to be waste only, isn't it? It will just flow out of my hand. The more I try to, I can't hold water in my palm. It is something like that. Let us realize. Krishna says tyaga. Tyaga means not having only the fruits of actions, not nothing about karma. Krishna is saying karmas have to be done. This is one perspective. Let us see now. Krishna says, Tyajam dosha vidityeke karma prahur manishinaha yajna dana tapa karma na tyajam iti chapare. By some literate men, it is thus pronounced. Here the word literate, it is like wise. By some wise people or some, we can say unwise people. What is it said? It is necessary for all actions to be renounced. When some people feel all actions only have to not be done, a person must completely stop all actions. That is one perspective. By some others, this view is subjected. Sacrifice, offering and penance alone shouldn't be neglected. Yajna, dana and tapa alone don't neglect. You must do yajna, you must do dana, you must do tapa. These three karmas alone don't leave. Every other karma you leave. That is one more advice some people give. And some people say, don't do any karma only. Well, these are all perspectives that Krishna is saying. But a second perspective does look pretty interesting, isn't it? Yajna, dana and tapa. In our life, no matter what work, even if I am doing some work as part of my profession, apart from that also, I must understand some contribution must be there. Some yajna must be done by me. Some dana must be done by me. Some tapa must be done by me. Many times we feel that I am doing this much work. My work is leading to betterment of everybody directly. Why should I do anything else? No. Aren't we getting something in return for our works? When are we going to experience that of the joy of giving something without getting anything in return? Because it ultimately becomes a transaction. You can do your work perfectly. Yes, that is true. Offer everything to a divine, then there is no aspect of individual coming into the front. But still, some people say, apart from your regular works also, engage in some yajna, engage in some dana, engage in some tapasya. It is important, is what some people say. But for us, there is only one person who is dearest. It is our Krishna. So let us see what our Krishna says. What is this? He says, Nishchayam shrunume tatra tyage bharata sattama tyago hi purusha vyagra trividha sam prakirtitaha. Listen to me now as I declare my conclusions for you to clear the air. O Arjuna, O fiercest amongst warriors, listen to me. Renunciation. 2 is of modes 3. Krishna is saying even tyaga or renunciation is also of 3 types, meaning our rajas, tamas, sattva, they are not leaving us. They are going to keep coming back. Even in 18th Adhyaya, Krishna is saying your tyaga also, meaning what bhava is governing, what guna is governing you, it is going to govern your tyaga also. No matter how smart you are, how wise you are, how much you have done before, great karma you have done, wrong guna is activated, wrong action will take place. So guna is governing your tyaga is what Krishna is saying. Krishna says, Yajna, dana, tapaha, karma, na tyajam, karyameve tat, yajno, danam, tapaschaiva, pavanani, manishinam. And we will look at the 6th shloka also and then look at these 2, 5 and 6 are connected. Etanyapithu karmani, sangam taktva falani cha, kartavyaniti ke me partha, nishchitam matam uttamam. Listen to my uttama mata, my opinion I am sharing to you. What is it? He says, sacrifice, penance and offering. These actions three must be verily performed. Neglected they shouldn't be. So Krishna is reaffirming that opinion. Yajna, dana and tapa must be done. Let us introspect. Are we doing all these three? If we are not, let us do something. Let us start. Shramadana. There is no ashram. There is your garden also. At least do some shramadana in your garden. There is you can do something, some physical effort. Offer, do some dana. If not, you're doing no dana, it is time to start doing some dana. Like that, yajna, sacrifice. How many things are you going to keep holding on to? How many things will you grab? And where are you going to take all these positions that you are grabbing also? Learn, sacrifice, give something to someone. See, Desha, Kala, Patra, that person will receive it and will get what we can say, Kalyana only for that person. He will get something nice out of it. So yajna, dana and tapa also. Tapascharya is important. Even gold needs to be heated in fire for purification, isn't it? Only in fire gold can be purified. Well, what about our personality? If you observe that you are not growing, you cannot say, I have grown enough, I've done enough in life. Damleji at 76 also, he feels that I see always the spark of a young child inside of him, always wanting to learn and grow. And somebody who has got such a big experience, he's a master in so many fields. Yet he asks, "Ye correct hai kya? Ye theek hai kya? Aapko kya lagta hai?" Now for me, I'm like his grandson, age-wise difference, so much difference. Why should he even bother an opinion of someone who has nothing in this field, no knowledge? But that is his humility, and he says, I have to keep growing. I cannot stop, not one moment, not 1 second also. So this aspect of our life, we have to, some tapascharya must be done. We cannot be satisfied with our past. As Sri Aurobindo also says, we are not going to rest on the glories of the ancient past. We are the heroes who are we are belonging to the noons of tomorrow, not of the great dawns of yesterday. Meaning another beautiful noon is going to rise. We have to see that realization. So Krishna is also saying that these three are required. Yajna is required, dana is required, tapa is required. Why? Because they bring about a transformation. Where they say Vyaktitva ka vikas, personality's development. These lead to your development. And who benefits from your personality's development? Anybody, if your personality gets developed, who is going to get benefited from it?
You yourself.
Okay, Badrinathji says we ourselves. Anything beyond that also?
Society.
Society also, yes.
Society.
Yes,
Society.
because now if I'm always cranky, I'm a cranky brother, always, troubling everybody around me. My sister gets irritated by me. Now the day I get transformed, the day I decide I'm not going to be cranky, I will get benefited, yes. But then those around me also, they'll feel suddenly a greater experience because now the personality has increased. I have improved. I have improved as an individual. My life experience is going to change. My quality of life will improve. My interactions will improve. Something like that. Even in the spiritual marga, there are different paths. There are so many roads, and they say even the tip of the Everest is not the top. From there, you have to take a dive, and a beautiful world awaits after there also. So where are we going to rise without all of this? So this must be done because Krishna says, for they bring about in the wise an inner purification and lead verily in the soul's emancipation. It leads to a soul growth of that individual. Emancipation, meaning somebody is now realizing his worth and raising the worth what was there already. That is what we have to. Upanishads also say, Kruto smara kritam smara. Remember, you are the hero, you are the yogi. You have come before. Previous births, you have done deeds. Now you have to rise beyond what you have done before. That is what happens with these three. Krishna says, in the wise. Why in the wise? Because wise only do this for bringing about inner change, and they become more purified with a higher consciousness. Then Krishna gives one more suggestion while doing. Oh, Arjuna, even while these actions are performed, this following principle must be conformed. All actions must be done in a state of detachment without holding on to any fruitive attachment. Same thing what Krishna told, Mam phaleshu kadachanam karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana is that very start, basic of Karma Yoga, foundation. 18th Adhyaya, again Krishna is like revising the same thing. Remember, do yajna, do dana, do tapa, but while doing that, don't get so lost or attached in your own tapasya that you will forget the basic tenet. Mam phaleshu kadachana. Don't do this because you're getting something in return. Try doing it without it. The joy of doing such a work is absolute ananda only. Doing a work selflessly, any work, without whether people criticize or praise. Sometimes you will also laugh on the inside when you are getting criticized. This is an experience of many people. I have done this good deed for somebody. That person has come and told me, you are a fool, you will suffer because of this, all of that. You can just, tera tujhko arpan kya lage mera. Even Galia also, you can pass it on. I did my karma. Krishna, this is your responsibility. I did my duty. Nothing more, nothing more. What wrong is there? That now it's your job to take because I have done it sincerely. Well, how is it possible? Only when you are in that clear state of consciousness. You don't have to worry about what praise, criticism, anything. Yajna, dana, tapa, without any karma, phala, asha. That's what Krishna is talking about. He goes on further. He says, Niyatas, niyatasya tu sannyasah कर्मणो नोपपद्यते मोहा तस्य परित्यागः तामसः परिकीर्तितः. The abnegation of prescribed actions is not proper, as neglecting the right action is deemed improper. What is a right action? You should not forget that. You cannot walk away from responsibility. You cannot run away from your responsibility and then try to say, I'm doing tyaga. Many times people say, I am retiring now, so I'm not going to do anything. Well, this is a good thing. Maybe you don't want to do, you don't want to have moha, but you're also running away from karma, isn't it? If you're not doing, if you are capable of doing, you have the strength, you have the wisdom, you have the capacity, and you are not utilizing it. It is not sattvic tyaga. It is a tyaga which has come out of personal preferences. Sometimes you have to rise above preferences, and Krishna says this is a tamasic tyaga. He says, neglecting the right action is deemed improper. Such an approach is a tamas type of renunciation that has arisen simply out of ignorance's illusion. This has come out of ignorance only. The thought of letting go or relinquishing your duty, this can come only when there is a tamas. Tamas is inside of the person. Tamas is preventing you from doing it. You cannot claim that I have done a great service. Look at the thankless people around me. I have done so much, but they are not giving anything in return and they don't value it. It's better not doing anything. No, there is no moment your duty should not be done. Do it till your last minute. Do it like you see Dr. Abdul Kalam. What was he doing in his last minute? He was delivering a lecture to students. There was no need, isn't it? No. For him, every moment he was living a spiritual life also, but the connection with the world was never lost. So that way, our karmas, we cannot escape from it. Krishna says it's not right. That is why what Arjuna was going to do, was it a right tyaga or it was a wrong tyaga? When he said in the start, I do not wish to battle. Was it tyaga, the proper one? No, isn't it? It was out of tamas. It was out of tamas. That illusion inside of Arjuna, that was a depression also was coming because of tamas. Many times it is tamas which is causing all the wrong thoughts inside of us. Some people feel this, I want to end my life. Everything is useless. There is no good in this world. All these thoughts are just tamasic thoughts where suddenly Ahankara decided now, I am more important than everything else. And that dire Ahankar makes a person get trapped in tamas. Krishna goes on. He says further, 8th one. And actually, dire ahankar is the main reason for all such thoughts which are very negative. And when there's a lot of force, then it becomes rajasic also. Lesser force will become less rajasic. It will move towards tamas. But when the force is too much, but you see, ahankar can cause a person to get trapped in tamas also. Ahankar can get a person trapped in rajas also. Both of these can be easily trapped. Sattvic, ahankar will not trap a person in sattvic guna, but sukshma ahankar will trap. That is a dangerous thing which a sadhak must understand. Subtle ego. but at least it is okay compared to dire ego. Dire ego is causing a person to get trapped in Rajas and Tamas. Now we see here the 8th one. Krishna says, Dukkhamittyeva yat karma kaya klesha bhayatyajit sakritva rajasam tyagam naiva tyaga phalam labhet. He who renounces his works due to depression or due to bodily discomfort or troubled apprehension. So out of bhaya, out of an apprehension, I saw a black cat today, so I will not go to office. This is not a tyaga which I am doing. This is a superstition. Somewhere tamas is also there, but it is also out of, if I go deeper, it's probably I don't want to go to the office in the first place. It's like one student says, I don't want to go to school. Why students, even elders also? There was one child saying, I don't want to go to school. Why? Because teachers don't like me. Students don't like me. Everybody makes fun of me. I don't want to go to school. Now, is this a tyaga? It is not a tyaga. It is out of troubled apprehension. Then that person's mother comes and says, no, you have to go to school because you are the principal. All teachers also, the person's duty is there, isn't it? Even sometimes principal feels I don't like going to school. All teachers are not respecting me. Students hate me. Same what students also think. Adults also can think the same thing. But this out of troubled apprehension, if I go there, something will happen, or I better go out of this. Today, it's better to put a sick leave, take a sick leave, because this meeting is going to take place. I want to avoid it. You can't brush everything under the carpet. Sometime or the other, it will get exposed ultimately. So this is Rajasic. Krishna is saying, he who renounces his works due to depression or due to bodily discomfort. Air conditioner is not working, so I am on leave until the air conditioner starts working. This is an attitude. I know of one doctor who faked disability so that she gets a wheelchair in the airport. Now, what can we do? The Dr. Vaidya is only doing this. Can you call this Vaidya Oshadi Janavi Toyam Vaidyo Narayano Hari? No, we will say Tamasa Namaskara. I don't want this tamas only. But this was so sad that person helped it was actually a friend's mother. So I was all the more disturbed to see, but I couldn't do anything about it. This person is fully capable of walking, fully capable of doing, just I don't want to walk so long, so I am using this excuse. But this is not the right one at all. This will not help a person. This does not give anything good. That's what Krishna is talking about. Due to bodily discomfort or a troubled apprehension. Such a person engages in a Rajas type of abstention, gains not the entitlements of true renunciation. You run away from your duty. Can you say, I have not done wrong karma? No, that is also one wrong karma, running away from duty. So where will you get punya? If you are looking at some imaginary punya, it's not going to come to you if you go away out of these conditions. Krishna goes on. But what is Sattva's way? 9th shloka. Karyamityeva yat karma niyatam kriyate arjuna sangam tyaktva phalam chaiva satyagaha satviko mata. He who performs regulated and right actions, detached, without any fruitive attractions, with a sense of duty, he discharges his deeds every day. Such a renunciation is in sync with Sattva's way. No karma is big karma or small karma for a Sattvic person. Every karma is karma. Anything can be. And in life, if you are open like this, you can actually get experiences. You are not close to people. You're not close to divine moments. Any place you go, you will experience something. You will grow in consciousness when you realize that every little work you do. Sometimes, now if you're in an apartment system, there's always a security guard who is greeting you. Do we have to treat that person like a fly and ignore that person? Why not give a smile? We do not know what, that's a small courtesy, but it's also what Manav Dharma, isn't it? A small duty, we can call it a small karma. But for a Sattvic person, every karma, whatever it is not for some return which a person is expecting, but it is just the right way it needs to be done. He who performs regulated right actions, detached, without any fruitive aspirations. Why? Because there's a firm sense of duty. I must do it because I feel it is required. This sense of duty is a great, what we can say, direction for many. It can help a person keep going on the right path. You don't need, it's like having a magnetic compass. wherever you are traveling, it will keep pointing to you the right direction. Anytime you are at a crossroad, if you know your direction, it's so easy. Best way to identify your direction is your sense of duty. See, is this my duty? Is this my duty to keep gossiping here? Everybody is talking wrong things. Should I continue? No, it's not my duty. Then I can politely walk out of the place. Is it my duty to engage in certain actions? If your inner voice tells yes, then it will help you go ahead, follow that. So somebody who is sattvic has a clear viveka and is able to understand. And such a person, whatever actions he does, it's just like how Adi Shankara talked in his Shiva Manas Puja, the way he said, Yad Yad Karma Karomi Tadakhilam Shambho Tavaradhanam. In that consciousness, if you go and shout at somebody also, but it is not with a rajas force inside, but with the sense of duty, that will become a corrective action, and that person may not make the same mistake again. The divine might work through you also. Why? He will work only through Durvasa in that particular way. No, he can work through anybody. Divine is Gunatit. We also have to be available to the divine. So to understand that, sense of duty is important. Recognize it. It will help us move ahead. Krishna goes on. He says, Na dveshtya kushalam karma kushale nanushajjate tyagi sattva mavishto medhavi chinna sanshaya. The wise man who has overcome all contradictions in a state of sattva are all his renounced actions towards difficult actions. He holds no indisposition, and pleasing actions to him hold no attraction. That wise yogi has overcome all contradictions. There is no pleasing action or there is no displeasing action. Duty is duty. Favorable or unfavorable, I will do my duty. Means that is a beautiful attitude. Sometimes representatives are there working for company, market representatives. No, उस line में नहीं जाऊंगा. I will not go to that place. वहां से order ही आते नहीं है. I don't want to go traveling there. Now that is not sattvic, isn't it? We can say that is a rajasic tyaga. But the perfect representative will say, no, it's all right. I will go. I'll do the detailing. Even if the doctor says I'm a fool, I don't know anything, I will go do my duty. Now, when the HR manager identifies such a person, he says, this is the person who is going to benefit the company. He is even letting go of his personal preferences. When this is there in organizational setup, what about the Divya setup of the divine? The Vibhuti, divine is wanting representatives only, isn't it? Kalyug is there. There's a great quota of Kalyug for everybody. Concession is there. Each person can become a representative or a Vibhuti of the divine. But for that, the Vibhuti must be ready. The person must become ready to receive the divine instructions. For that, there is no preference. No, I like a little bit of Dhyana Yoga only, so I will not do Karma Yoga. Or it's okay, I have great Dhyana capacity, I have great Karma capacity, but I don't have Bhakti, so I don't want to do any action. I don't do all of this. No, all three are important. All three are important. We have already seen. Well, this is something where preferences also. Sometimes our sadhana also, we have a feeling, isn't it? I have done tapascharya. I am now doing Purusharan. I should get this experience. I have now done it for 5 years. After 5 years, I should go up to this level of consciousness. That day while meditating, I got this experience. Next day, now, everywhere as if it's some kind of schooling only in exam, 10th, 11th, 12th, like that. Even here also on the spiritual path, we have our expectations. Okay, today I have got this dhyana experience. Tomorrow, after these many years, I should get a little more step. Sometimes people have this question, am I going ahead on the path? Am I going ahead? Has my sadhana progressed? These are questions people have doubts. Have I really gone ahead? Am I going backwards? What is happening? If the divine wants me to go backwards, go to the ground, I'll go to Patalok also, no problem. But my preference should be completely forsaken, and divine preference must be important. Your individual preferences, if you're able to throw away, Krishna saying that is the sattvic person who has overcome all contradictions. Means it is like divine is there even in front of you, and there's a karma which divine has sanctioned you. You can tell the divine, "Vahin pe rukho." Like Pundarik had told, I'm worshipping my parents. Vitala, stand here. I don't have a sofa in my house. Take this brick, stand on this brick. And then Vitala comes and remains permanently on that brick. Why? What is the lesson there? What is the example? It is the same thing, that preferences, personal preferences, let that go. Get the joy of another experience. It's like I keep going to the market and buying one type of fruit only. Okay, because I know the taste, I like it, I enjoy it. But what if there are so many other fruits which are even better, which I can enjoy? Can I close myself because of my own preference? No, we must take an experience like that in sadhana also. We must let go of our own expectations as well. That is a sattvic person. He's overcome the contradictions, and these contradictions are only the problems many times in life. People have these contradictions. Inner sadhana is something, outer is different. One side vidya, another side avidya. Always compromise. What happens in compromise? Both parties are not happy, isn't it? One party which is going to attack afterwards, or other party will attack when the moment comes. When is it going to solve? The battle will be over when reconciliation is there. Both ends are going to meet. Like that, Krishna is trying to make Arjuna's spiritual material, both ends meet. He says, let go all of your preferences as well. Krishna again reminds, karma cannot be forsaken. Don't ever say you are spiritual if you are leaving your karma. It's absolutely wrong. Krishna says, nahi deha bhrata shakyam tyaktum karmanya sheshataha yastu karma phalatyagi satyagi yabidhiyate. Works cannot be renounced by any embodied being. Such is the nature of works for all creatures living. Can I say I'll stop breathing because I'm tired? No, isn't it? It's happening. This is the Prakriti. Prakriti has made this bond. I am born and I am breathing. I'm not even conscious of it, but it happens. Maybe when I do pranayam, I try to become conscious. But otherwise, it's happening. Same way, you are not going to escape from karma and karma bandhana. We have heard of akarma also. When you're not doing karma, you might be doing some undivine akarma and bearing the consequences. Yogis can do no karma and still experience punya and get the punya of not doing karma because they are in a heightened state of consciousness. So this entire flux of karma is there. It is not going to escape. You cannot say, itna sab kuch kar diya. My friend was saying, he's now an advocate in Supreme Court. I will retire at 42 and I will take sannyas. Now he doesn't want to read Gita or anything. After 42, he'll pick up the book. After that, is he going to take sannyas? Or he will again get back into activity? I feel Gita will not allow him to leave the world. It will tell, see all these things that have to be done. I need to watch. Maybe I have only 9 more years. I have to see what is he going to do. But this karma bond cannot be lost. Krishna says you cannot let go of karma. Works cannot be renounced by any embodied being. Such is the nature of works for all creatures living. He who gives up the fruits of actions, he has understood the true meaning of renunciation. Somebody who has understood the meaning of renunciation of fruits, karma phala tyaga. Krishna is not saying karma tyaga. A lot of people interpret Gita according to their convenience to escape from karma. Karma you cannot escape. This shloka is making it explicitly clear. If we are doing that, we are not fooling anybody but ourselves. Krishna has told karma needs to be done. Even if you don't feel you are not doing, you are going to be involved in it. You cannot escape that, is what Krishna is saying. Krishna goes on about karma phala also. They are of 3 types. Means the karma phala also, Krishna is saying, don't worry about the karma phala. But karma phala manifests, isn't it? If I plant a tree, it's like if I grow, I have grown a banana tree, banana plant. I'm going to get bananas only, isn't it? Can I say I want apples? It will not come out from the banana plant. So your karma will lead to a phala only. But karma phalas can be of 1 of 3 times. This is a principle of the universe, principle of life, principle of living. What is it? Krishna says, Anishtam ishtam mishram cha trividham karmanaha phalam bhavatya tyaginam pretya natu sannyasinam kvachit. All fruits of actions in this world and the next can thus be desired, undesired, or mixed. Only 1 of the 3. Means karma phala can be according to your wish. This is what we can say, happiness. You will get happy because it's happened according to your wish. Or it can be anishtam. Something I didn't want this. I didn't want this to happen. But nothing happens because we don't want or we want, isn't it? Ultimately, what has to happen, karma does take place. So there is one Ishta, one is Anishta, and there is a Mishram or a Khichadi. Something good, something bad. Kabhi khushi, kabhi gham, something like that. We get a mixture of both. One thing nice happened here, one thing bad happened. Overall, I'm just experiencing a mixed fruits. So this is exactly what all karma phalas are. Krishna is saying, desired, undesired, or mixed. Only one of the three. Post death too, the beings enslaved to fruits are bound, but those who renounce truly are in all worlds free found. Your attachment, Krishna has already told in the 8th Adhyaya also, it not only troubles you throughout your life, it affects the post-life journey also. So this is what Krishna is saying. So 3 types of phala are there, Ishta, Anishta and Mishram. We will look at the 13th shloka and then we'll stop. Panchaitani mahabaho karanani nibodhame sankhye krutante proktani siddhaye sarva karmanam. So Arjuna, learn from me as I shall reveal. The 5 main causes to you I shall unveil as per the wisdom of the ancient instruction by which man attains in all his works a perfection, meaning mastery over even the karmas. That means siddhi only, isn't it? It's like you're able to ensure the right phala also maybe, because you have planted, you've done the perfect karma, you have understood everything, you have become a master, then siddhi is yours. So Krishna is probably saying that. Because now this question does come when we are told that a lot of things are predetermined. If everything is predetermined, what is the role of our karma is the question which comes to the mind, isn't it? Everything is predetermined, so why should I do anything? Everything has already been decided. Damliji's Guruji also had, Nana Maharaj Taranikar had one similar question. He had gone for a parikrama and he had not got a darshana. He was feeling now my sadhana is not sufficient. He's such a great person who is considered avatar of Datta only. But even he was at that particular time, probably the younger age, he was feeling that, very, very tivra ichha for a darshan. It comes in different times, in different moments in people's life. Like that, he got that and he was just feeling, I need to get the darshana. I have not got. And when he was giving the Adhyaya in the evening time, he said, what is this? I have not got this darshana. Why? What is the use of everything? It's better I also go into this water only. I have not got that. Suddenly that time, just outside, he saw one young boy. That young boy had a kamandalu in his hand. He had a peacock feather in his head. And it was his darshana. And that time, that darshana, while it took place, he just realized that time in the first dialogue, it was in Braja Bhasha. Thade Rayo Panditji. That was the first line. As he went to touch him, greet him. That time, Thade Rayo Panditji. That time, immediately he spoke. He spoke one question. He asked a question which was in his hand. Because before that, he even first got the tirtha from that kamandalu and all the tiredness inside of his body vanished. But he had this question inside. He said, Ek baat ekant mein sun lo jagadadhar, hare mare karma to Prabhu ka kya upkar? Now Krishna is there in front of him. He said, I want to ask this simple question. In private, I am asking you, if my karma is only going to take me ahead, what is the role of your grace? Now, isn't that a very practical and valid question? And Krishna gave a beautiful smile, which is trademark. We have seen in 2nd Adhyaya also. Prasanniva Bharata. A smile, but did not answer, and then he vanished. Because this is a very interesting question. Afterwards, Damliji also explained about it. What is there? It is also mentioned in the Pothi as well. Well, what is this? What is the role? Now Krishna is saying in the shloka, Panchaitani, 5 factors are there. So there is something, Sri Aurobindo also has described, there is something called fate, there is something called free will. How does this, is it a tug of war? Or destiny is already predestined, means I am born, I am going to, the day I am born, it has been destined that I will do only this. I remember in school, one teacher came, he came walking inside in our class, it was in 11th class, we were all deciding, just having discussion. Here, I know what you are going to become. He came, he touched my head. He is going to become doctor. next person, he is going to become this. He went on saying, and his reason of logic was because he knew this person's parents are doctors, this person will become doctor. Another person is like this. We were all very disappointed, but some he was right, because one boy, he was like a software engineer from the beginning. We would also tease him during lunch breaks also, that you are going to become software engineer. He did become that. But so many others. One person I know, the most mischievous person who was most, what we can say, useless in biology. He became a doctor and he was in the medical emergency when one more friend was there. But my friend got scared because when he removed the mask and he said, "Hey, Jonathan, it's me." This person said, "This person is going to operate." He shouted there, don't, I want to leave this place. This person is operating on me. That means I have no faith. Because that was his confidence in him. But is everything predestined? Or there is something? There is something which is what we call a free will. So there is a will. Maybe sometimes fate has a play. Fate plays a role, but fate is not so powerful to put a full stop in our life. Fate can maybe put a comma. Fate can introduce a page break. Fate can introduce, like you write a script. Fate can maybe start a new paragraph. But fate cannot put a full stop to your life. There are factors. This beautiful shloka, the next one, is actually going to answer that question. What is the role of fate and how is it? What are the 5 factors? Ultimately, these 5 factors govern how an action takes place. So with this, we stop today. We have stopped at shloka number 13. Tomorrow we'll start with the 14th shloka. Probably this one question which is always asked. Many participants always ask this question, but I just tell them you have to wait for the last adhyaya. But most of the times, those who ask the question don't attend till the 18th adhyaya. So again, we are going to be covering it. It is going to be covered tomorrow. So with this, I conclude. I conclude with the Shanti Mantra. If you have any queries, most welcome. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kasyid dukkha bhag bhavet. Hari Om Tat Sat. Krishna Mande Jagat Guru. Hari Om. Hari Om ji. Namaste ji. Hari Om. Hari Om ji. If any queries, most welcome. Hari Om ji.
Hari Om.
Namaste ji. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om ji.
Hari Om.
Hari Om ji. Namaste. Hari Om. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om ji. Hari Om. Hari Om ji. Namaste. If any queries, most welcome. Or we'll conclude the session. All right, ji. If there are no queries, let us